We knew that this would be something different working with Darren Aronofsky on Noah. As long with the script, he sent a book of imagery that was really the sort of things that he was looking for in the film to give us the idea of how this film would work. We built the Ark on a set in a forest on Long Island. When we first approached the Ark, we actually shot an aerial plate of this on location. You know, that gave us the front of the Ark, but for this shot, it was like a hardware worship shot in a Star Trek film where you fly around the Enterprise. Here we were flying around the Ark, looking at it being worked on and seeing into it. Because that's what, you know, one of the things you want to see in the audience is how was this thing built? So we made this big digital version of the Ark and all of the scaffolding around it and the piles of lumber and the furnaces and everything you would need to make the Ark so the audience could get a sense of how this thing was constructed. Darren wanted to add a layer that said, this is not the world that you understand, and no, this is somewhere else. So we did a lot of environment work to extend those natural landscapes, building upon them and trying to retain the naturalism of them. But on top of that, the film has a lot of visions and, you know, biblical moments in there and walls of fire and that sort of thing. So we created a lot of environments on top of that. At one point, Noah is visiting Tubal-Cain's camp and sort of gets overwhelmed by the wretchedness of humanity that he sees there.
So the plate started with just Noah, the back of Noah looking at a portion of the camp, and you pull back. And what happened is on set they could not pull back that far, so in the end we had to continue the movement. And what happens is when you change those kind of movements, there's so much parallax happening that you have to change everything.
So that required taking the real world camp location and reproducing that in the computer so we can pull way back above the trees and then send fire through all of this.
We have this shot where the trees are growing and it's a sort of a magical moment, and the movement of the trees themselves had the same sort of staccato movement that you can feel in the creation sequence.
And we actually worked with SpeedTree, who do some software we use for creating our digital trees, and we actually said, look, we need to do tree growth for this shot. And they helped us with some tools that would make this work. So we did all these tree animations, showed them to Darren, and then we took the helicopter plate and matched that in the computer with the big sweeping camera move, and that provides our transition from almost like from the world of Iceland into our world of Long Island and the forest clearing where the Ark gets built.